This one is for the football fans or the soccer fans for my American audience. So we're going to talk about the upcoming action figures based on a few very, very iconic football players. Now, before we get into that, I think it's very interesting that we don't have a lot of officially licensed football players or team-based players as action figures. And I think that's a little bit of a gap in the market. Maybe it's just not popular enough. Maybe that's why. Or maybe I've been kind of oblivious to a lot of things or blind to it. Now, I'm not exactly a big sports fanatic, especially when it comes to football or soccer. I'm just really only interested in the World Cup. So club teams, things like that, I don't know a lot. To me, I'll play FIFA. I used to play Pro Evo, but I don't really care about the sport in general. But I still find this quite interesting because I feel like team-based sports players, especially football, soccer, we don't have them a lot in the UK. Like I said, as far as I know, we don't have them in the same way that we have figures of wrestling people, right? Like, Stone Cold, The Rock, things like that, Undertaker, whatever it is. And my brother, for example, used to buy sometimes wrestling figures. He was into wrestling and still is, sort of, I think. I don't know. I should ask him. But my point is, why don't we have them for footballers, right? Or team-based players? I know we've got some official ones of, say, Marfex, for, say, Jordan and I think LeBron James. And Tabay have done some stuff. We've also got some official stuff for, I think, Mike Tyson, potentially Muhammad Ali as well. But I feel like football, there's 11 players, right, on each side, plus the whole team, right, in terms of substitutions and whatnot, transfers, whatever, that they could potentially be exploiting as licensed goods. So for me, it's a little bit of like a gap and something that they're not really taking advantage of. Now, that's probably why we don't see them a lot, because of the enormous amount of licensing and stuff that they have to go through, the hoops they have to jump through, not just for the team, but the Football Association, things like that, stuff that I'm probably not really aware of. As I said, I'm not a huge football fan myself, but I can't help but be really kind of curious to check out these figures. So these figures are going to be coming in two types. So we've got the 112 or 15 centimeter style, kind of like your normal kind of action figure size of Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, only two of the best football players in this current kind of era of football and of all time, depending on who you ask as well. So that's, it makes sense that they're choosing these two guys. And for the 112 scale, they're going to be in, I believe it's the Argentina kit for Messi and then a Portugal kit for Ronaldo. But then we've also got a 1/6 scale version of these figures as well. So still Ronaldo and still Messi, but also of Neymar, who I personally don't like because of his theatrics in football. But this 1/6 scale is by a different company. So this is Competitive Toys. And because, again, they're unlicensed figures, they'll give these kind of characters or players nicknames. I always refer to them as characters because that's how I see them, even though they're real-life players. But that's what they've kind of done. A bit like if you're familiar with playing Pro Evo, they would have had some very imaginative, creative names. This one's a bit different as well. So Competitive Toys, Samba Dancer. You can take a guess that refers to Neymar. And so this is a 1/6 scale one. It costs a lot more than the 112 scale one, and therefore a lot more detail in there as well. So kind of looking at both of them, I'm interested in checking them both out. I'm not a huge football fan, but I'm just really curious to see these figures in hand. I think I'm going to check out the 112 of Ronaldo because I really am kind of liking that head sculpt because he's got that smirk that Ronaldo has, and that looks pretty cool. But then the 1/6 scale, I think it only comes with one head sculpt for each of the players, which is kind of a little bit disappointing at this stage. Maybe there might be a secret one or an additional one added later on. But by these pictures, you can kind of see that each of these players tries to be as close to the characters. I keep saying characters, the players, as much as possible. For example, the tattoos covering a lot of these players is going to be different and unique to what they have in real life. I don't really know these players that much myself to know what tattoos are legit or not, or accurate or not. So that's going to be interesting for people that are really hardcore into football, aka soccer. So that's going to be really interesting for them. Plus the 1/6 scale as well comes in different kits. So not only is it just going to be the international kit. So for example, Argentina for Messi and Neymar is going to be Brazil, for example. They also come with their popular club kit. Now I think with Neymar, it's the PSG kit for this year. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I don't follow club football. I'm kind of disappointed it's not the black kit from maybe last season, the season before. I don't know what season that one was, but that kit was really, really cool. And that was a licensed Jordan one, I think, right? But anyway, the point is they come with international kit and a club kit, which is super cool. So the Cristiano Ronaldo one coming in his Man United kit is super interesting. I'm only kind of interested in it because I have family. My brother is really into Man United, so I'm really curious to check that one out. And then apart from that, I think they are otherwise kind of similar-ish. And I guess, yeah, the 112 one doesn't have tattoos and that level of detail that the 1/6 scale one will have. But still, it's very interesting. Though I do want to make a mention that I like the base on the 112 version because it has that faux grass on the actual base stand. That looks really cool. And kind of hoping the Competitive Toys 1/6 scale one kind of copies that idea because I think it's quite creative. It's interesting. Kind of makes the figure pop a little bit. And the other thing I want to mention is the football boots. I don't know if they're going to be unique to whatever they usually use in game, their popular one. I don't know. It's again something that a lot of football aficionados are going to be more interested in and know more about. I'm just super casual. I don't know anything as far as football talk goes. I don't know anything, but I am curious just to kind of get these in hand and check it out. So for the 1/6 scale ones, I think I'm gonna try and get all three of the ones so far, and then for the 112, I'm just gonna check out Ronaldo at this time and see how that is. I think I'm leaning towards actually I'm probably gonna enjoy the 112 because I like that scale. It's very toy-like. But that's just my personal leaning. But the 1/6 scale is just going to be a little bit more of a good display piece as well. But I'm curious if these kind of pop off. That would be really cool to see what other characters. I keep saying characters. Why do I keep saying characters? What other players that they're going to do next? Because I would love to see. Again, I'm not a football fan, but Eric Cantona, just to see him in Man United jersey with the collars up. David Beckham would be cool. Some of the kind of other 90s, popular key 90s players would be super, super cool to see. I would love to see Batistuta in Argentina outfit, Ortega, Claudio Lopez. I used to use Argentina a lot in Pro Evo, so I'm just kind of whatever they want to do for Argentina. But let's see what they come out with later on. But this is a very interesting one. I'm kind of hoping that this does actually open doors and becomes a bit more popular. But at the same time, these are all unlicensed, as I said earlier on. So there could be a lot of kind of legal people knocking on these guys' doors from, Nike, FA, who knows? Just, there's a lot of gray areas here, or not so gray areas. But it's an interesting concept either way, and I'm curious to see more. Let me know down in the comments below of what you think of these figures, whether it's the 112 scales by, I think it's Mini Sports that they called, or the 1/6 scale by Competitive Toys, or if there's others that you've seen that I've just completely overlooked. I'd love to hear more about it because, football players, only one of the biggest sports in the entire world, and now we're getting some good quality looking player characters. That's what I'm going to call them. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you next time.